Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to Real Talk Food Network. And tonight, it's Tofu Wars. So get ready for all those rumors you've heard, how nasty it is, how this it is, how that it is. We're going to share our viewpoints on that. We've all made dishes to share with you guys. Pam won the luck of the draw tonight, and she will be presenting first. But before we do that, we're going to go to Alicia for some housekeeping. Alicia?
You know I love housekeeping. So, this is really exciting. I'm so excited to announce to you guys that we actually have a new cast member, and I'm a big fan, a huge fan of hers. And so I just feel like she will complete this cast. And it's actually our guest who is here tonight, Lindsay Cooks. So, Lindsay, in case anyone doesn't know you, and I don't know how anyone would not, but can you please introduce yourself?
Hey guys, it's Lindsay. I actually started off as VSG Bulldog, and I had to take that down for, whatever reasons, but I really have a love of cooking, so I decided not to escape the YouTube world, and I wanted to start my own cooking show. So now it's Lindsay Cooks, and I'm tearing up some recipes online. So that's what I'm doing, and I actually had VSG surgery. It was 6 months ago last week, so that's a little bit about me, and I'm so excited to be joining you guys.
We are excited to have you. So we have a new chef. Chef Lindsay is here with us now, and she will be here every other week. That is what works with her schedule, and we're just lucky to have her every other week. So you guys, before we get started tonight presenting our dishes, Alicia, do you have anything else to say? I'm sorry.
No, I just, I just forgot to say she'd be here every other week, because she does have her motherly duties to tend to. So, but we are really excited to have you, Lindsay, and excited to see what you will have cooking up, because I know that we all are going to make this show fun.
Yeah,
Damn right.
The show is definitely meant to be fun and exciting. We're going to critique others' dishes, joke around, that kind of a thing, while giving tips and tricks and healthy ways of eating, and maybe sometimes not so healthy. But that's up to the chef what they decide to present and share. So before we get started, you guys, let's talk about this tofu stuff. Okay, because I think a lot of people think it's like, oh my God, I would never eat that. It's gross. So I have a question for you guys. When you first heard of this stuff called tofu, what did you think about it? What was your honest opinion of it the first time you heard about it? Let's start with Zen. Zen, when you first heard about tofu, however far back it was, what was your thoughts?
I guess I wanted to try it. I was when I was a kid, so I started having it as miso soup at a Japanese restaurant. So that's my first exposure to it, and the pieces were so small, it was like, oh, this doesn't have any taste. So I was good with it, and I didn't pursue eating it on its own until much later, when I started my weight loss journey and started maturing my food tastes into things that were more, calorie friendly and so forth, then that's when I really started delving into having it.
Awesome. Pam?
When I first heard about tofu, I think I was probably like middle school aged, and I was like, ew, no, gross. I did not want to try any new foods. I ate, my parents would always cook the same meals every week kind of thing, and I just didn't like to go out of my comfort zone. So I was like, no. But then I got a little older, and I started looking into being a vegetarian, just kind of like seeing what that's about, and I wanted to try it probably around high school age.
Okay. Alicia?
What was that, Alicia?
I kind of changed your name. Alicia, go ahead.
Well, I feel like old or something, because I didn't even hear about it until I was like an adult. I didn't know, I don't know, like growing up, my Mexican family, all we talked about was meat. That's all we talked about, So I didn't hear about it until I think more so after, like in the last few years, and I didn't know what it was, but it looked nasty. I was like, oh, it don't look very good and stuff. And I've actually never had tofu, so tonight will be the first time. And yeah, it kind of scared me a little bit, but in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, if the other cast members can do it, and Lindsay talks about eating tofu all the time, then there must be something about this stuff that's okay. So.
Okay, and Lindsay, what about you?
I am like Pam. I was probably in high school. My sister, I always call her my hippie sister. She was a vegetarian and was really into that type of eating, organic, even, back then. So I remember when she started cooking with it, and I literally like poked it. I was like, that's mushy and that's weird. You know what I mean? Like I was kind of freaked out by it, but just seeing it so often, I tried it and I really liked it. Tofu takes whatever you're cooking it with, so you just have to get creative with it, and she has always been a really good cook. So growing up, I always liked it just because of her with her different recipes. So now, I'm the weird girl who eats it for breakfast. I love it.
Yeah, I think I was probably either towards the end of high school or maybe even after high school when I really came across it. And mine is kind of the same as them. That's when I saw it in the soup at like the restaurants and stuff, and there was like 2 or 3 pieces, and it didn't really have a taste to it. But the liquid that it was in, the soup that it was in, was very salty, so it appeared to have somewhat of a really salty taste. And I would pick it up in the store a couple times and see it was full of like a liquid, and I thought, oh my god, this is disgusting. So I just kept putting it down. And the first time I actually bought some, I brought it home. I set it in my fridge for probably about 3 weeks and then threw it out unopened. Then the next time that I bought tofu, folks, I actually left it in the fridge for about a week, and then I opened it. And when I opened it, the water inside of it, or the liquid inside of it, is kind of an off-white, almost a yellowish in mine. And immediately went to disgust, and I threw it out. I put it down the garbage disposal. I couldn't bring myself to do it. Okay, and Daddy was in the kitchen. So then what I did was, the next time I bought it, I peeled the corner back and I just emptied it into the sink with water running. And then when I took out like this huge glob of tofu, and I put it onto a plate, and I thought, well, I'll do something with this and I'll fancy it up. Now I like to cook with it. I don't eat it a lot, and I don't cook with it a lot. But over the last several weeks, I've incorporated it a little bit more into my dietary intake, and I'm liking it. So any of the viewers that want to share your first impression when you first met tofu or started experimenting with it, let us know. But for right now, you guys, it's Tofu Wars. So let's get started with our first person, Pam. And I got that knife, you guys, because I got to keep these chefs in line. But not only that, I'm going to give you guys a tip on how to cut something when I get to my food. So let's go to Chef Pam. Pam, what did you bring tonight?
Okay, I'm super excited. Now, I don't have all my calorie things to tell you. I brought some of it, but I was kind of scrambling to get things done. So, okay, I'm going to start with my drink. It's going to be the same drink I had last week, which is my Teavana, and it's strawberry lemonade. And it's in there, and it's cold. I've had it in the refrigerator, so that's what I'm going to have to drink. I'm really excited. I have something on my plate that I've actually not tried yet, and I'm really excited about trying it. So here we go. So here's my plate.
Ooh.
Oh, that one.
So broccoli, broccoli's good. Got some greens in there. My tofu here. Basically, I got some extra firm tofu, and I had wrapped a rag around it, put it in the refrigerator for several hours to get all the moisture out. And I used a little bit of coconut oil along with this Mrs. Dash, and I can't pronounce, it's like a Southwest spicy kind of.
Southwest Chipotle.
Thank you.
Chipotle.
Totally. Yeah. So I like spicy stuff. I really like that seasoning. I use it on a lot of stuff. So I decided to use it with that. So that's that. And then there's some macaroni and cheese there. But it's not just any macaroni and cheese. It's vegan macaroni and cheese, which I've actually never tried.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
I'm really excited. I love macaroni and cheese. I could eat it for days.
That does look good. That looks like chicken or even salmon.
Yeah.
The salmon.
Also, like in macaroni and cheese, you know, when you buy like the box stuff, you use like milk and butter or whatever to, you know, make
Right.
it and stuff. Well, I used a little bit of unflavored or a little bit of unsweetened, unflavored almond milk, just a little bit, and then I also used just a teeny bit of this Earth Balance vegan butter spread stuff, just a little bit. And then it came with like a little vegan cheese packet thing, just like regular macaroni and cheese. But I'm excited. I know it's not the healthiest thing in the world. I wanted to try it. Also, I don't normally put salt on my food like ever, but I put a little bit of salt on the broccoli. I have salt maybe like once or twice a month where I add it myself, and I always use this Himalayan pink salt stuff. And last but not least, I have a little bowl of pitted Bing cherries, and they're frozen.
Yum.
So excited. But yeah, one more look-see at the food, and then I'll be quiet about my food. But here we go.
Oh my
Are you gonna taste it for us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
'Cause I was gonna say.
No.
I'll ask you a question, but I'll wait for you to get your mouth full.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Thanks, Rob. Okay. All my tofu pieces are big.
We're all quiet. She's like, okay.
I'm just gonna go out of the frame while I chew.
Or we can be nervous.
I observed the tofu, and it actually looks like you cooked it perfectly. Just saying.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It looks amazing.
It's really good. The tofu is really good. I probably could have added a little bit more Mrs. Dash, but I ran out. And the macaroni and cheese is really good. It tastes very similar to regular boxed macaroni and cheese. It's really good. And then we all know what broccoli tastes like.
Where do you get the vegan products that you're showing? Like what type of a store?
Well, there's two stores. One of them is called Rainbow Blossom, which is like a local natural food market kind of place here in Louisville. Some of that is from there, and then the other stuff is from Whole Foods.
Oh, okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They have it at Sprouts too, Rob. Just saying. Those
Cool.
products are at Sprouts. That brand.
I'm curious, what is the carbs on the macaroni and cheese, and also the sodium? Because you know I'm a sodium master chef. Okay, Daddy tries to cut down on the sodium. I don't want none of my people having a stroke. Okay.
Okay, so the sodium is a little high. For 1 cup of macaroni and cheese, it's 550 milligrams of sodium. 2.5 grams of fat, 260 calories. Oh, and you were asking for carbs. Where's the carbs? 51 grams of carbs.
Okay.
So this would definitely not be something I would eat all the time.
Right.
But it's one of those like Taco Bell kind of foods for me where like I used to binge on it all the time, so I have to be careful. But I just wanted to try it and we'll have it once in a blue moon.
I do have a question for you, Pam. I know that there's a storm going on over there. So how long did it actually take you to cook that? I'm just curious.
Oh, actually, let's see. Well, do you know what time I texted you? Do you have your phone? I don't have my
It
phone.
was like 10 or 20 after, I think.
10 or 20 after. I just started cooking right then and there. And then I finished about 5 minutes before I came on. So I guess it
didn't take you that long to cook it.
Yeah, I was like rushing to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it didn't take very long at all.
Okay.
And that's perfect because you don't want to spend like a ton of time in the kitchen, like as fun as it is. Like, so that's awesome. It only took, 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was doing something where I wanted to like plan meals out for the week and like cook for the week or something, that'd be different. But yeah, like something quick and easy. Otherwise, I'm too lazy and I don't want to do it if it takes too long.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Do you guys think that cook with tofu a lot? This is for anybody. Do you think that there's, I mean, so that the viewers know, because I think a lot of people watching tonight have probably never cooked with it, and after they see all of us chefs, they're going to want to go out and get this, right, and try it. So, what I'm thinking is, what do you honestly feel about the prep time? Because there is some prep time involved with tofu. I'm not saying it's a lot, but there is some. It's not like where you take a thing of ground turkey or a piece of chicken out of the refrigerator and just put it right onto the burner, so to say. What are your guys' opinions on prep time and cook time?
Well, I want to say this was my first time using tofu, and I didn't realize when you opened the package that it was full of liquid like that. And I like cut into it with a knife, and I was like, "Hold on, what's coming out of it?" So like I ran to the sink and I drained it, and like I had heard people were talking about wrapping it in a towel to get some of that moisture out. So I put it in a couple paper towels and took out, well, you'll see my dessert, what I needed for my dessert, because it was okay that it was like that liquidy. But then I put the rest in the fridge and I wrapped it, and when I got it out, it was like the paper towels were like really wet, and I was like, oh wow, I didn't realize how much moisture it actually does have in it. So I think for me that was the biggest thing, was getting that moisture out.
Yeah. Anyone else?
I just tried the cheesecloth for the first time not too long ago, but honestly, I think paper towels work just as fine, or a normal cloth. Like, I don't think you have to get fancy with it. I have both here, and I used paper towels tonight. It was just as quick and just as easy. So
I used a regular towel, just a dish towel.
Yep.
A clean one, and I let it sit 5 hours on the first batch I made. And then subsequent batches, I let it sit less time. And sometimes when I process it, I don't let it, I don't need to drain it really that much at all. So just depending on what you're making, and if it's a more a firm, dry texture that you're seeking, and the longer you let it sit.
Yeah.
5-6 hours or whatever. And you just start usually the night before or something. Stick it out and put your towel on it, and it will soak the entire towel.
Yeah.
If you let it sit there long enough.
And do you leave it out, or do you leave it in the fridge when you're taking the liquids out of it?
I've done it both ways.
Okay.
I've done it both ways.
I left mine in the fridge. I wrapped it in like a dish towel thing as well and put it back in its container and then left it in there for a few hours. And when I was done, I picked up the towel. That thing was soaked and the tofu was dry.
So depending on the dish, folks, you are going to have to do a little bit of prep with that as to what you're making. Okay. Let's go to our next. Chef Lindsay is going to show us what she's prepared tonight.
I'm excited. And I cook for my family, so I just did a portion size on a plate. So mind you, I've already fed my guys and everybody's taken care of. But what I cooked tonight, and I have the recipe right in front of me, it's called spinach, tofu, and sesame stir fry. So, and it actually has peanuts in there as well. So let me see if I can show you guys. Can you see it?
Up a little more.
No.
Can you see it?
Oh yeah, that looks amazing.
Yeah.
So you can see on the bottom there, it's fresh spinach.
Oh! You just hit me in the eye with something.
Crashed your computer? Oh my God.
I got so excited with my tofu. It's actually fresh spinach right there on the bottom. And then I have sesame seeds on there, and I use peanuts in mine because I love peanuts just to have that crunch factor. And I use organic sesame oil, so it really gives it that good taste. I used garlic and ginger. And the way I did mine, I do my tofu in a separate frying pan. So I prepare that, and then when I'm about halfway done, I add my fresh spinach to the other frying pan, so I uncook them together so that when I plate it, I put my spinach down, and then I put my tofu and my peanuts, and then I put my sesame seeds right on top. And it was so good. I can't even tell you. My husband's, he's really not a huge tofu fan, but he enjoyed it. And my son eats it, and he's only 3. So I feel like as a mom, like my job here is done. If my little dude's eating tofu, like I'm totally happy about that.
Yeah. Program the little ones to eat.
Can you hold up a piece of the tofu just in your hands? I want people to be able to see the texture. Oh my goodness, that looks amazing.
So the way I do mine, because I like mine crispy, and I don't know if other people do it like this, but like I get all my moisture out and then I slice it into cubes, and I actually dip mine in egg so that when I put it in the frying pan, and you want to get your frying pan like to like a medium high, so when you drop it in, you're going to hear that sizzle. But that's what gives it that crunchy outer texture. So it always cooks perfect. You just need 1 egg per package, whip it up, dip all your cubes in there, and then throw it in your pan. And it's awesome.
Wow. Sounds good.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't throw it at you. Next time I'll be
I know, you about put my damn eye out, too.
And look, I even made like pretty little designs around there because I had extra sauce left over. So it's really good. Let me tell you guys the stats on this. So this is probably like, I go VSG size, so it's like 4 to 5 ounces, 163 calories, 13 grams of fat, only 3 grams of carbs, and 66 milligrams of sodium, and 10 grams of protein. And Rob, you talked about sodium. Is 66 milligrams good? I don't even know.
Oh, yeah, that's way low.
Yeah.
So the stats are really awesome, and I wish you had smell-o-vision too, because it smells so good.
Okay, I know you're going to taste it for us now.
It's so good. I'm gonna ship it to all of you. Every morning have tofu for breakfast.
Yummy.
Yay.
Alicia, go ahead, and then I have
I was just going to say that, I just love the fact that you incorporate your, like that for your dinner, that your whole family can eat it, and stuff. I think that's really awesome, and that's really great, because like tonight I was making mine, and they weren't having nothing to do with it. They were like, I'm out, but I have a 19-year-old, and then my boyfriend is like, yeah, they took out meat for them, but I enjoyed trying it and cooking it. I enjoy learning new things.
And you know what? My son's is still, he's little, so it's easier for me to do that, but I can understand it's hard if, you have teenagers or older kids that aren't into it, that can be hard. So I'm trying to really teach him to eat healthy young.
Right, yeah, definitely.
The question I had, when you make that and you take the tofu and you put it into the chunks and then you put it into the egg and put it in and brown it up, if you take that back out and put it into the egg again and cook it again and then repeat that process, does the egg would build up around the outside, right?
Yeah, but I think it would be too crispy. Like the way I just dip it once and do one side for 10 minutes, and then I flip it, and then I do another 10 minutes, and it gets that perfect crispy on the outside. I think it would be too much if you went back and dipped it again.
Well, what about that, that popcorn chicken that they had at KFC that has no meat in it and it's just all the breading? Maybe we should get to the point where it's popcorn tofu.
Yep.
It's all the crunch. I used to get so pissed when I would go to KFC, you guys, and get that popcorn chicken. There was no meat in those pieces, and it drove me nuts. It drove me crazy.
It might be something fun to try is in your theory of re-dipping would be to like dip it in some almond meal and then egg again. That would give it some more dimension to it. if you want a thicker, like a fake coating. You know what I mean, Rob?
Yeah. Or Linz, what if you didn't, see, I've already got you a nickname and I'm calling you Linz.
Oh, please do.
What if you re-dipped it, put it in the pan, but didn't let it get crispy, just enough to adhere, took it out, dipped it, put it in just enough to adhere? I'm going somewhere with this, and you're going to understand it in a second. Could that keep it from being crispy, or will it still get crispy?
It would still be crispy, and if you just didn't cook it as long, it would still have like kind of that like an egg, yeah, like a little bit of egg mixture where it's almost like would taste like a Chinese dish, because you know how some Chinese dishes have like the eggs in there. I think,
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Cook it too long, boo, you got rock candy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to see what the viewers are weighing in and saying. Sarah Schmeling is watching, and she says, I've never eaten tofu, but the way it feels in the package freaks me out. Laugh out loud. Why eat tofu when there is meat? And then she put, ha, ha, ha. Someone can have my share of tofu. I'll give it to them freely. Frenchy Girl in the USA said, I tried tofu when I was a nanny. It was in a ravioli with sauce. It tasted really good. And then
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Joy Lynn is watching, and Pink Fairley is watching. So we do have some people watching the show this evening. And you guys feel free to weigh in and leave comments. Does anyone have any questions for Chef Lindsay on her dish?
No, but I see another comment that you missed out.
Oh, you didn't register. What's it say?
Well, Embracing Wellness, she said, Daddy is in the kitchen.
I am
Yeah.
tonight. I ain't even lying.
And then she also said, hi, guys. I never tried tofu yet. Maybe you will, or all your dishes will convince me to try it.
Absolutely.
Oh,
And
you're going to want to try it.
You're definitely going to want to try them.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's not for everybody, but you should always try something at least one time, you know? Why not?
Right. And remember, it can be combined with so many other things. It doesn't have to be eaten standalone. It can be with shrimp. It could be with chicken. It could be mixed in a stir fry with vegetables and other seafood, or however you want it, soups.
I think it's just good to try, try different things. Like, I know some things are scary, but sometimes, Sarah, you need to try it. I mean, it may look scary, it may feel scary, but girl, you need to try it.
Where's she live? I'm going to go cook for her. Where's
She lives in Michigan.
All right, I'm going to Michigan.
There you go.
The
So,
Traveling
and
RealTalk Food Network on the road.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if you guys mind me adding in like a couple other things that I didn't make it, but just some ideas of what I've done. Like for breakfast, you can do a tofu scramble. Like you don't even have to use eggs, and you can make it like with onions, mushrooms, throw some cheese in there. It's really, really good. And then lunch, Zen talked about the miso soup. I can tear that up. It's awesome. Yeah. And you can do a cold tofu broccoli salad.
Ooh.
And then another one of my favorites for dinner, I've done a crustless tofu quiche. So, I mean, you can really, if you just play around enough with it, eventually you're going to like one of the dishes. I promise.
Yeah, it takes on the flavor of whatever you put it with. So That's the thing. If you can't season anything, then don't play with tofu.
Yeah. Because
it's very bland and plain. But no one is expecting to eat it by itself the way it is out of the package. I don't think anybody does.
I went on Pinterest, and there was just tons and tons and tons of stuff. There's so much out there. I really think that there's something for everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't have any more tofu to show you guys because I'm eating my last piece. Sorry.
Throwing down. All right. Okay, so I'm next, and I made two things. I made a dessert, and I made something else. But first, I want to show you guys this amazing little thing that I got. This is actually a grater, and my tofu was grated tonight. I used the extra firm because I needed it in that format to use for what I was using it for. But this is amazing, you guys. It comes apart. On the bottom, it has a plastic or like a rubber ring around it, so it will not move on the countertop. Then it has a lid on it that comes off, so whatever you grade, you put this on, you set this on the counter, and you grade it, and it will not move. Then you can take this off, clean it, take out what you need, and if there's extra, you just put the lid on and put it back in the refrigerator. These
Awesome.
are available at IKEA, and it was $5, you guys. And it has the big grade for cheese and other stuff, or here's one for like cinnamon, nutmeg, different things that you get that might be spices that are whole, in a whole form. Okay?
That's cool.
I did use that tonight.
So tonight the show is brought to you by IKEA.
IKEA is my sponsor. So what I made, you guys, in the kitchen is I made a tofu omelet. Okay, so this omelet is stuffed with tofu that is shredded and browned, and also a meatless sausage, and there is some Daya cheese in here, which is a vegan cheese, and onion. I'm going to go ahead and lift this up so that you guys can see the inside of it, and that's what it looks like. It is absolutely amazing. So this is a tofu meatless stuffed omelet with vegan cheese on it. And you guys, my mouth is watering, okay? I ain't even going to laugh. This is my dinner. It is going to be absolutely amazing. You could slice the tofu if you wanted to, or even do like awkward little cuts and really fine chop it down and put it in that way. But if you get the extra firm tofu, it will grate, it will grate on the grater. You kind of got to hold it and maybe cut them in pieces that are about like that and probably like that thick, and kind of just leave it down. Some will fall off, but for the most part, you're going to get a really good shred on it. Okay, so it's shredded in there, and I'm going to give you guys the stats on this. I'm going to hold it back up so you can look at it as I tell you the stats, because y'all know this looks good. Let Daddy put this back so you guys can see just the inner part of it. Okay, so this has 330 calories. It does have 405 milligrams of sodium, which is not bad because this is an entire meal. And that sodium mostly came from the Morning Star 2 sausage links that are in there, okay? 21 grams of protein, 12 carbs, and it has 15 grams of fat. And the 15 grams of fat is coming obviously from the vegan cheese that's on there, and then the meatless Morning Star sausage that's in there, okay? And then the peppers that are on top, they're raw. I don't like vegetables cooked with the exception of a couple things. So I just put them off to the side and I would eat those separate because that's how I like to eat them. Okay, so that was the first dish. Does anybody got a question on Daddy's omelet?
I gotta say, I'm very impressed.
Oh, let me taste this. See, Alicia, you didn't tell me to taste mine. You're telling everybody else to taste it.
Well, I was waiting for you to stop talking. Jeez.
Okay, first I gotta put this up there because I know everybody's mouth is watering. I ain't even gonna laugh. But you guys, look at. I mean, this Daya cheese melts absolutely amazing. It is very affordable. It is so good, you guys.
After you're done chewing, can you tell me what the name of the cheese is again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Daya.
Okay.
It's D-A-I-Y-A. And I found it at Fresh and Easy. It is $4.39, but you get 10 slices in that pack. It also comes in a chunk. It comes in shredded, and you can find a million videos on YouTube with this product. And I'm going to tell you guys what it tastes like. It's not something that you would cut and put on top of a cracker, okay? Because the taste of it, when you were a kid or even an adult, do you remember going into the Kraft macaroni and cheese packet and either pinching it and eating it or wetting your finger and putting it in and tasting it?
Yeah.
That's what it tastes like in that form. But when you cook it, it takes on an amazing taste. So I love it, and I don't eat a lot of real cheese anymore because I have some lactose issues, right? But you guys, it's absolutely amazing. So there you go.
Yum.
Then Then I got, which I thought I have this, oh, I do have this broken down. So the next thing I decided to make was something that most people like, and we know our chef Alicia loves cheesecake. So I made a tofu cheesecake. Okay?
What?
This tofu cheesecake, um, the recipe is online, but I'm going to tell you guys what it has in it. I added 5 blueberries to the top of it. The one mistake that I did make is I took the 2 tablespoons, excuse me, I took the 2 tablespoons of sugar out of the graham cracker crust, and therefore it didn't, the crust doesn't have like a crunchy texture to it or a breakable texture to it. It's more soft. It still is really, really good, and it's set up great. But you guys, this is 220 calories compared to 350. The total fat is 7.5 grams. Sodium is 170 milligrams. Carb is 20.4 grams. Sugar is 14.8, and the protein is 12 grams.
What?
This is actually a regular size slice. The recipe makes 6 slices in the cheesecake.
Awesome.
Okay, and so what this is, it's a half a cup of cream cheese, 1 cup firm tofu, a half a cup of plain yogurt, 3.5 tablespoons of whipping cream, 3.5 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, and 3 to 5 drops of yellow food coloring, depending on what you want it to look like. I didn't want the white look because I don't think it's as appetizing, and there's nothing wrong with putting that food color in there. So those items you mix in a blender, but first you would melt 3 tablespoons of butter or margarine and mix with, and then you're gonna mix with 3/4 cups of graham crackers. You're gonna put those together and then press it in the bottom of the pie pan, obviously. And then one important step that you cannot forget to do, you guys, is you have to take 4 tablespoons of hot water and mix 1.5 teaspoons of gelatin. It's the Knox gelatin. It doesn't have a taste. That's what's going to get your cheesecake to form and become the texture of it. If not, you're going to have some soup, some cheese. And you pour that into the graham cracker crust. I blended it all in the blender until it was really, really smooth. You pulse it until it breaks down. You may have to have a spatula handy. Put it in, move it around a little bit. Make sure you are not running the blender as you put the spatula down in. And then chill it for 2 to 3 hours, and then it should be set. You guys, this is absolutely amazing, and Daddy ain't even going to lie. I'm going to have a taste. But I'm going to show you guys. So there it is. Okay, and this is tofu.
You're trying to win the competition, aren't you, Daddy?
I think I might have sealed it with this cheesecake, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going down that cheesecake gate.
This is amazing. I wish I would have left the sugar in the graham cracker recipe. To be honest with you, I didn't omit it to save sugar. I actually forgot to put it in because I had put the sugar in the blender that was called for the cheesecake filling and forgot to put the sugar into the crumb mix, and therefore I want to say it didn't harden like it should have. That sugar would have allowed it to mix with the butter and harden, and that's the mistake that I made. I also wanted to share one other thing before, if we have any questions about that. When you guys are cutting meatless sausage, it is a different texture than regular meat. So an important thing to do is when you take your knife, put the sausage link in the middle of the knife and cut down. I put it in the microwave for about 15 seconds. It's frozen. Put it in the middle and cut down. If you use the tip, you're going to pull the meat apart more because it doesn't have the same firm texture as what a meat does. The regular meat has a lot thicker casing on it, so to say, and so therefore you're going to pull it apart and make it more of a crumble. And I wanted to make sure that the pieces of sausage, I'm going to show you guys this, I wanted to make sure that the pieces of sausage were coined so that it looked, so that they were more noticeable in the dish. If you don't care about that, then you don't have to do it, but who doesn't like a big piece of meat in their mouth every now and then?
There we go.
There we go. Okay.
Are we going to get...
He was just waiting to say it.
Oh, you know what? Pam is over there trying to eat her dinner, and don't make her choke over there.
There we go, right? Chef Lindsay, did you have a question?
Yeah, when you used yogurt, did you use Greek yogurt?
I used plain yogurt because that's what it called for. I've never made it before.
Because I wonder if you could up the protein if you use just plain Greek yogurt. I bet that would really up it even
I think
more.
you probably could. The only thing, I've never made a dessert with tofu, let alone one that needs to set up. So I wanted to be really, really careful. I didn't do any research on it. I wanted to be really careful to make sure that it would firm up. So I didn't tweak the ingredients at all with it because I wanted to make sure that it set up. Doing it again, I'm sure there would be no difference in adding the Greek yogurt.
And you know what? Like, just for me personally, where I am with my post VSG surgery, sugar and like any kind of dessert were always like, it's too of a temptation for me right now. But honestly, I would love to try this. It feels like a safe but really delicious dessert. So I think you inspired me.
Yeah, you know, I think you could use stevia in the raw or in one of the other. Here, in place of any sugar, I usually do it and have great success with swapping it out.
Totally.
Right, and I bet you could even go. I bet you could even go as far as using like a low-fat cream cheese and stuff like that. I don't know how much it would change the consistency. I mean, it would be trial and error unless there's other videos that people could follow that maybe have that. I didn't go that route because I just found this one. It was something that seemed easy for me. I mean, there was several steps to it, but you know what? At the end of the day, I had a 9.5-inch pie dish with 6 pieces of cheesecake. Now I gave one to my neighbor, one to my friend Sherry that stopped over today, and sent 3 home with my friend because it's not a red light food for me, but I do believe that cheesecake is something once you open it and get it going. I personally like to eat it within 2 to 3 days at the most. After that, to me, it starts to break down. The crust doesn't taste good, and I knew that I wasn't going to eat that. Now, I was saying if that was a frosted cupcake, okay.
Here we go.
Okay, I ain't even going to lie. So, but the cheesecake, it does taste like cheesecake, you guys. Yeah. It really, really does taste like cheesecake. I'm very impressed with it.
Yay. I do want, oh, go ahead, Pam.
Sorry. I was just going to say there's one other thing that you could use, like in the crust. I have this organic coconut palm sugar, I think.
Yes, I have that.
Yes, and it's like, it tastes really good, like a kind of like a brown sugar kind of taste. So that's another option.
That's a good idea, too.
Yeah.
For sure. No, I was going to say that, you guys, Frenchy Girl in the USA, she actually put in the comments, she found the recipe for the ravioli tofu.
Ooh, yay.
So it is down there in the comments, so you guys can check it out later. And, yeah. And Sarah said that her baby does not like tofu.
Oh, here we go.
Yes, right?
Here we go, right?
All right, whose turn is it?
Yours.
Is it
your turn, and then my turn.
Okay. So I made a main dish, and I've been dying to eat it, okay? I'm hungry, guys. Now, first of all, I had to use my heart plate that I didn't get to use. Did I use it? Maybe I used it last week. I don't know. But anyway, this is what I made. It is a tostada. And, you know, I had to go Mexican with mine because I love Mexican because I am Mexican. That made no sense what I just said, but okay. But yeah, I actually I cooked the tofu. I cut it up in little tiny chunks. I cooked it with onion and peppers and garlic, and I put some ground cumin in it and some chili powder. I cooked that all up, and oh my gosh, it smelled amazing. Then on this, I put some shredded cabbage, and then I have a couple pieces of avocado, tomato, and a little bit of sour cream on there. So it looks really, really good. Can you guys see that?
Yeah, it does look good.
It
Yum.
looks amazing. And like I said, everyone in the house was like I said, I even asked Chris, I said, do you want to try it? And he's like, no. I'm like, that's okay, it's more for me. So I might be getting a little bit messy here, and I don't even care if I show it on camera or not. I'm not like Miss Pam over there that want to be all secretive because
You let it all hang out, huh?
I'm going to try it.
Does everybody know that you're a tofu virgin, though? This is your first time?
It is. It is.
Yes.
No, it's amazing.
Yay!
So, let me see. So this is what, I mean, it ends up being almost like, it reminds me of like scrambled eggs almost. Because I let it cook and cook and cook. I don't know. But it tastes amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to get, like the ground beef or ground turkey kind of, you know, looking like that. And I'm telling you, it's good. It is good. I am, oh my gosh. Right now, at this moment, I am not missing meat. I'm going to tell you that right now.
See?
I am so not missing meat. Okay. So that's amazing. And I will figure out the calories and everything, and I'll put it down below after because I was so excited about making this, and I totally forgot to come up with the calories and all that stuff. But, and I do have, like, I'll probably do it later. I'll show, like, because I showed, like, the different tofu I used and all that stuff. So I have one more thing. It's a dessert, and I actually, hold on, I got it. Well, this is what I made, and this is actually one serving of chocolate banana pudding, tofu pudding.
What?
So,
Awesome.
yes, and let me just say, before I actually got put it in the fridge to set, you know, I had to dip my finger in there, and it was so good. So basically, it was one banana. So where I found it at, and I'll put the link down below, but the site I found it at, it actually gives you an option to change the serving size. So I was like, you know, my whole family's probably not going to eat this. So the original serving size was 4 servings. So I turned it into 2. So this is actually 1 serving. Look how huge that is. That's like massive. So so it actually asked for, it's falling out, the soft silken tofu, but I actually used what I already had, which was the extra firm one, and it looks like it did just fine. I used the unsweetened cocoa powder. I used like 2 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa powder, the one from Trader Joe's. I love Trader Joe's, so I use everything from them. It asked for soy milk, but I don't do soy milk, and I didn't know how almond milk or whatever would do, so I used just regular milk, and it was only like, I don't know, a tablespoon of almond milk or regular milk, so it wasn't a lot. I used cinnamon, I used vanilla, and it asked for confectioner's sugar, but I didn't use that. I actually used the stevia. I used 2
girl.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't do that. So anyway, oh, and I got my Ready Whip right here because I can't eat that without no Ready Whip. So I'm just saying.
You're throwing down now.
I am. Hey,
Daddy's.
I want to let everyone know there's nothing wrong with this. This has 15 calories per serving and 1 carb, okay? So don't be scared of some whipped cream.
There it is.
Daddy's got some competition.
Not kidding, Daddy.
Okay, so here we go. This is what it looks like, and I'm going to try this. So,
Oh my God.
My God. You taste the banana, the cinnamon, oh my gosh, the chocolate. I'll see you guys after the show. I'm just saying.
There you go, right?
Right?
Oh my gosh.
I want to try some.
I can't
know.
You know what, guys? I don't even know what tofu would taste like, but This tastes like nothing but chocolate and banana and cinnamon. I'm telling you, it's amazing.
Awesome.
Before we go to any questions that anyone may have for you and then go to Zen, Liz L said, "Hi all. Can you advise what stage peanuts are okay?" So this question is going to our weight loss surgery chefs, I would guess, because she's asking about a stage that peanuts are okay. So that would be Chef Lynn's, Chef Alicia, and Chef Zen. Pam and I have not had surgery. So what stage are peanuts okay? And if I'm wrong, Liz L, please correct me.
I would probably say, actually, probably stage 3 after the healing process. You probably wouldn't want to go into nuts for a while. You know, at least a couple of months is my opinion. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I would say stage 3 or you know, until usually when your dietitian will let you know, like when you know what it is that you can have. And I know everyone's different, but I would say stage 3 or even stage 4.
Yeah, and preferably almonds are preferable to peanuts or walnuts. Just that's what they'll tell you. They're the different kind of fat, and you do have to watch your fats. So they're good in moderation. They're a good snack.
Lynn?
I just started eating them, and it's literally just in meals. Like I throw peanuts in a lot of like my tofu recipes or Oriental recipes. So honestly, I don't eat almonds. I don't eat really. Well, actually, I did make these protein balls that had almonds in them, but again, it was like, you know, I used my food processor, so I don't eat too many of them, and it definitely wasn't until later in the game. And I'm 6 months out, so I probably didn't start until about 4.5 months after surgery.
Right.
Okay. Liz, we hope that answered your question, and I hope I got the question right. I hope that's what you wanted to know. Cheery Revision says, "I made it late, so sorry if you have already shared or asked, but is it true that tofu takes to the flavor of whatever it is cooked in?" Now, Master Chef Daddy will tell you yes, and I think all the other chefs will tell you the same thing.
Yes.
100%. And Rob, you had said earlier, I think that you did, that if you're not into seasonings, like you have to be with tofu because it really does take to the flavor of what you're making it with. So get creative, throw tons of seasonings, like just get creative with it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it will be totally bland and not good.
And I think it can be tempting to want to try it fresh out of the pack just because you want to know, is there a taste to it? Everybody says there isn't, but what does it taste like? My advice would be make it the way you want to make it first and eat it that way. Seasoned, how prepped, cooked, how you want to. And then go back after you've had it and know that it's not poisonous, you're not going to drop dead. And go ahead and cut off a little piece and try it. But there's nothing great about it plain. That's just a helpful hint.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a potato. You know, you're going to like it cooked, but when you go to take a piece raw, you go, ooh.
Yeah, there's just nothing there.
You wouldn't want to eat it that way.
I didn't taste it before I cooked it, but I smelled it to see if there was some like
Fish
good smell, and it didn't smell like nothing. So I was like, okay.
The Zombie Boutique said, "I love tofu anyway I can get it. Hi guys." Shadow Girl 1 said, "I've never tried tofu, but you all make it look so yummy. Looks kind of like diced up chicken," which is true. Will you guys be putting recipes for each dish in the bottom bar after the show? Also curious if there are specific brands that you guys prefer of tofu. Personally, for me, there's no particular brand. I pick up, to be honest, whatever's cheapest. I think the thing that you want to watch is, do you want it firm, extra firm? Do you want the silk one, which is really good for pies and baking and cooking, those kinds of things. But I'm an extra firm person. That's the one that I like. I'm not a huge fan of the firm or the soft. But
Okay, here we go. Valentine's Day is over, honey.
Is there a specific kind that you guys like, or is it just
we like it that way?
We like it firm.
We all like it extra
I'll take
firm.
it extra firm, you know.
Okay.
I'll forget about it.
Extra firm. But honestly, you guys, no particular brand, right? There isn't a brand.
There, I know that Maintain and Michelle said that they have some really good ones at Trader Joe's. I think there's like a flavored one at Trader Joe's. Don't they have like?
I haven't found a flavored one. There may be, but a friend of mine told me one called MOBA, and it's a Japanese one that's actually spicy. It's sold spicy at Japanese, like Asian market.
Huh.
I tried to find it today at a Korean market, but I had no luck finding a Japanese tofu.
Well, I got mine. I don't remember the brand of it, but I got mine I was at Target and I saw it and it said extra firm and I was like, oh yeah. I was like, I know everyone tells me to get extra firm, so that's what I got.
Yeah. Well, Fawn, what I can say is pretty much they're going to taste like shit until you prepare them and make them the way you want to make them. It's not something you just take out and cut off a piece and eat. So, now that's cheese honey food, but that's a whole other show. They ain't going to get into the cheese right now. Brand new Chrissy is here to sizzle this, and I gotta say this because it goes towards maybe a trophy. The cheesecake is beautiful. Thank you, Nadine, so much, and I knew that. We're gonna go on.
Rob Reno.
Does anybody have any questions for Alicia on her dish before we go to Zen? None? Okay, Zen.
I do have a comment though. I forgot to say. I'm sorry. I forgot to say. I actually, when I cooked the tofu and all that stuff, I did add some lime into it, and so it is really, really good. And Rob, you can put your little
the viewers so they have something to look at.
Everyone wants to see this. Look at Alicia's tostada. Okay, you want to go Mexican?
Hold it up.
I'm just saying. No, I'm not throwing it at you. I ain't throwing it at you. This ain't no food fight wars.
Chef Zen, it's your turn.
Thank you. Okay, well, I'm glad to be with everyone here tonight. I have made a couple of things. First, I'll show you the first one. I made spring wrap with tofu. I don't know how to see it. Can you see it here?
Yeah, perfect.
In a rice paper, and there's a shrimp here. I also made it buffalo style. So I marinated the tofu in a buffalo sauce that I made with Frank's. I used their regular hot sauce rather than the buffalo because of the sodium count was double in the buffalo. So I added sriracha to it, and in here I have an unwrapped version to show you so that you can actually see what's in here. There's like 2 pieces of tofu, and then I'll show you the unwrapped version so you can see it. In addition, I made a dipping sauce that goes with it. Here it is, unwrapped, unleashed.
Ooh.
Here is the tofu at the bottom. Can you guys see it? There. It has red cabbage, green onion, kale, a few cashews on this one, and a couple of shrimp. Let's see. So it's really colorful. There's some orange pepper here, some yellow pepper underneath, and then topped with some more sriracha. And the dipping sauce I made is a peanut dipping sauce, and I made it with some peanut butter.
Don't pour that in your shirt.
On your shirt. And it's actually very delicious. I made it with a peanut butter. I made with less peanut butter than what they said. The liquid aminos, which is the substitute for soy to reduce the sodium. There was rice wine vinegar, some water, and some sriracha mixed in together, and you just whisk it together, and you have an amazing peanut sauce, okay? It tastes just like you buy at the restaurant.
Wow.
That looks so good, and I love sriracha.
Yeah, and so anyway, these are super easy. These wraps are the thing that are the carb, okay? And you know how I am about carbs, which is why I got one unwrapped and one wrapped. Wrapped is real easy to eat. But these things have like 17 carbs, these little, and they're super easy to mold. You just dip them in water, the rice paper. You look at them in the store, you go, how does that turn into this? and you just dip it in water 5 seconds in warm water, and then slap it on the plate and start loading your stuff up and fold over one side and fold the ends on the other side, and you have your. My daughter's getting ready to eat it over here. You have to come.
But make sure you slap it on that plate. I'm just
slap it on the plate. Ooh, let me slap it. There you go. I got it. Okay. Come on, get on the plate. Dip it in the sauce. You have to. You have to. She's gonna.
Oh yeah, she should do the taste test.
You gotta come and do the taste test. Come on. This is Maylin, and she's gonna do the taste test.
How is
Yay!
it? Yay!
Yay!
Talk.
Thumbs up.
We don't want her to go.
It's teenager approved.
Oh yeah. Oh, she's been munching these down all afternoon. Don't let it. The other thing I made. Okay, and I won't belabor the how I made it. I mean, it's just julienne, vegetables. Everything is. I did not cook this tofu, but another batch I did yesterday. I did cook. I like the uncooked for me better because it's less fat. That's what I was thinking of. Just how can I make it the lowest carb possible and the lowest fat? So if the cooked, I will have on the breakfast or what I'm going to show you next would be best cooked. But for this one, you could have it either way. You could cook it. You can brown it in a little oil, and after it's marinated in the buffalo sauce or sriracha buffalo, whatever you want to make it.
Yeah.
You could make it as hot as you want. You could use habanero sauce. I mean, whatever you like. And then just having that, and then adding some extra on it, with the sriracha if you like it hot, which I do. And adding dishes was kind of fun. So I just added a few just for looks.
Well, Pam already says she likes it hot, so I'm just saying.
There you go. Burr. I used extra for
She finally got it.
Yeah. The next thing I made, okay, this is sort of like a Lindsay, it's a breakfast. This is a French toast. It's kind of a big piece. French toast tofu, and on it is the calorie-free Walden pancake syrup, brought to you by Walden Farms. These are no calories, fat, carbs, or sugars of any kind. And I've used this brand. It tastes a lot like pancake syrup. And then additionally, what the brown stuff is the Walden Farms chocolate sauce, no calorie, no sugar, no carbs. So these are super good. And if the chocolate one is not as sweet as a regular chocolate, so you could add some stevia to it if you like it sweeter. So anyway, I am like a French toast junkie, and I could eat that every single day because it does have a bread it fools your mind when you're eating the French toast one. If you've cooked it, it fools your mind in thinking that it is actually French toast when you have all the stuff on it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
That looks so good. I'm coming to your house next.
Okay.
First, I have to get
Daddy a run for his money because everybody wants some French toast. Just saying.
That's right. I love me some French toast.
Yeah, and I thought I would throw the shrimp on the wrap. It is optional, of course, if you don't eat meat. Then you just bring the shrimp to me. And that's it for me. I mean,
anybody have any questions on those dishes?
I have a question about the rice paper. I've never tried that before. I was wondering two things. How much is it, and how many pieces do you get?
You get quite a few. I believe it's like $3, $2.99 at Sprouts. You can get it at, I'm sure, Trader Joe. You cannot get it at Walmart. I tried. I went to various stores. Here's the brand. It is the Greenland rice paper. Okay, I don't know how many pieces you get. You get 12 ounces. So I've already used about 10, and you can see I got this many more.
Oh, okay.
Bag. You get quite a few, and it's like a large tortilla size, But once you dip it in warm water for a few seconds, you just put it on your plate and load whatever you want in there.
Is there much of a taste to the wrap itself?
There's really no taste at all to the wrap. The wrap is just like a binder.
Yeah.
And you see 2 of these rolls at the market are like $7.50, $7.99. 2 little spring rolls with a little grass, the fake grass they put in those. Anyway, that's how they get the extra money, I guess. But
No,
every time I
really
bought
good.
them, I'm like, oh my God, I want these. I really want those, but do I want to spend $8 on 2 wraps? You know? But
No.
make your own, guys. It's super easy.
Okay, and before we head out, I do want to say that Liz L did say that that was the information that she wanted, and she apologized she wasn't a little bit clearer. You didn't have to be clear. I just want to make sure we got your question answered. Jessica Ward said, Rob, I'm trying that tomorrow. She's probably talking about my dishes. That's another vote. Here we go.
Are you sure that she's talking about your dishes?
I'm sure so. And then Embracing Wellness said, do you guys find that cooking new recipes is helping to boost your cooking confidence? And we'll end the show with that question. So let's all answer that. And then we'll say goodbye to next week. And before we go, I'll tell you guys what next week is and who our guest chef is going to be. We have an amazing show in store for you guys next week. But right now, Chef Daddy, I'm going to go to each one of the chefs and say, this question comes from Nadine. Do you find that cooking new recipes is helping to boost your cooking confidence? Let's start with Alicia. Alicia?
I think it is. I find myself, looking at recipes more, I feel like in the last month or so, and I do have to say, I'm going to kind of give a shout out to one of our guests here, our hosts, is, I've been watching Lindsay now since she started her cooking channel, and and I see different people cooking. I see what Rob has when he does his grocery haul, and I'm very interested in what Pam is getting, and it's very interesting to me. And then Zen, she's always talking about low carbs, and she's like, watch your carbs, and so she's always reminding me with that, But it definitely, I think everyone has really helped me just have more confidence in being able to do it and not letting cooking being so scary,
Mm-hmm.
So it has helped me so much.
Awesome. Pam, what about you?
Definitely. Like when I started doing YouTube to start to lose weight and stuff like that, that's when I really started to experiment with cooking. And before then, I was just like all things in my life that I've never done or that I've been afraid to do. I just feel like I can't do that or I wouldn't be good at it. But once I started doing it and figuring out I could cook more than a bowl of cereal and toast, I just felt better and better about it. And nowadays I'm constantly looking at recipes, like stuff on Pinterest and watching stuff on YouTube to like learn and try to broaden my cooking skills stuff. So, yeah.
Awesome. Zen, what about you?
I think I've always been a pretty good cook, but I kind of love the experimentation and, like diving into some different things that I haven't tried. And it's just that I go through phases of it where, I'll be in an Italian phase or I'll be in a Thai phase. So I kind of just go in and out of different phases, but it is fun. And I've gotten more into looking for healthy vegetable, low carb per se, and or low fat, recipes to add to variety. So I think that as we explore, we open the doors to variety, and there's a whole bunch of stuff out there and a whole bunch of ways to season it. I'm really into like Indian cooking. I want to delve more into that and see if I can like master that. But anyway, yeah, to answer your question, sure.
Awesome. I'm going to go next, and then we're going to let Lindsay wrap it up. I think that's a great question, Nadine, and for me, it does. I love being part of the show on RealTalk Food Network. I love the things we have coming up. It really opens up your mind because you never know what the other chefs on the show are going to bring, and you're looking at it as it's a friendly competition. You really want your dish to be aspiring. You want people to see it. You want to make it fun, and there's times where you cook like that, and there's other times where you cook just to grab something and go. And whatever way that someone wants to do it, I think is a great way to incorporate it in. I could never be a pastry chef. I love pastries, don't get me wrong, but that's not my thing. I I like cooking. I like cooking meals and coming up with different dishes, hot and cold, all different kinds. I've tried more new things in the last 6 weeks than I had tried in a decade. And it is an amazing experience, an amazing taste. I recommend to anybody, if you haven't tried tofu, because we're talking about tofu tonight, go out and try it. It's $1.50 for a big brick of it. Use your imagination. Do what you want with it. And at the end, if you throw it away, you probably lost twice as sauce and $1.50 worth of a brick of tofu. It's not costly. It's easy to do. I think you're going to like it. Please at least try it. Lindsay, what about you?
I've always loved cooking, but especially after having surgery, and I've said this before, I can only eat a limited amount, so it better taste damn good. So that's why I really, and now like before, I would be sitting in a doctor's office reading like all the gossip magazines. Now I'm grabbing like the Good Housekeeping and I'm looking for recipes. So like I'm constantly looking for new recipes and I love it. Like it's fun to try new things and why not? Like I've surprised myself and now like the level, like I keep trying things and, a little bit harder and really fancy recipes. Like my husband's loving it because it's like total restaurant style, around here. So I love it. Try it.
Yeah.
What's the harm,
Yeah. Rob, can I say one more thing before?
Sure, of course you can.
I just want, I want to really encourage everyone, like Lindsay said, and we all said to try it. I mean, like I said, I was a little scared, and I was like, but I was all on board for trying me some tofu, and I have to say that I like it. But I really encourage everyone to, to do it. And if you do a video on it, please let us know, tag us or whatever, and we will definitely love to check it out. And and I know that Lindsay said that she did a video on her what she cooked, and so I'll put the link down below once she posts that. And yeah, so I just want to say thank you to everyone for for coming and watching the Tofu Wars.
Woo!
Thank you everybody for, like Alicia said, coming and watching. We had an amazing time. Thank you for commenting and asking the questions that you did. For those of you that watch it after it airs live, feel free to ask any questions you want to in the bottom. Let us know what you thought about our dishes, good or bad. We want to hear ideas that you may have to incorporate it different in the way that you would eat it. That would be so fun to read about and get to hear. Next week, you guys, Khalif Crumbly from Fat Guy Skinny Wallet and the producer of the Renew Show joins us as a guest chef on the show, and we are cooking and making soups and chili. So that's going to be an amazing show. It's that time of year for a lot of people where you eat more of those kinds of soup and chili. So join us for that episode next Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We look forward to hearing from you, and thank you for joining us for Tofu Wars.
Bye.
Bye.